thank you for staying with us. We continue with the conversation we've been having beyond the scars with Henry Omutai and Madam Linda Omutai. Continue sending your feedback at KTN News KE, at Grace Korea KE. As I said, I'll be sampling it at the end of the show. So, sir, I did say after the break we'll come back with you, because I need you to tell us how it was for you. You're the man of the house. You need to be strong for your baby, for her. She's pregnant with, a third born, and also for your firstborn too, and yourself. But you're here and you have to pray for your daughter. You're asking her to now accept Jesus, so that in case of anything, she's safe where she will be. How is it for you?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but I remember what kept me going strong was the Spirit of God. I'm born again. I strongly believe in God. And I would make a prayer like every other day we wake up, or even before going to bed. I rarely came to my house a bit early, because now I had to make sure I get or find something to do to be able to get some little cash out of it and keep my family going. And so I would work until late. I would go to so many places. I have a small sound equipment for hire. So I'll be giving it out and working until late to get some cash out of it and actually supplement, I remember when I wasn't unable actually to, I was losing peace in my heart. I would pick my car and, what I said earlier, go to town, pick guys and ferry them to Western. And I was doing a very high speed that I actually couldn't even actually stay there and stay alert, or I'll take them, I'll do one way, go to Western in less than 4 hours and drive back with other people. And per trip I was making a profit of 2,000 shillings. 2,000, two-way, that is 4,000, and I'm well able to cater for a few needs here and there. And again, come to the house, put on a smiling face go through. Be strong for me, be strong for the people where I work, be strong for her, and be strong for the baby herself. I was torn into different, but I kept holding on. And actually inside me, I knew very well this is just going to end someplace that is not really good for us. But again, I purpose to be happy. I purpose to be happy. Where I come from, I grew up in a tough surrounding. So my heart was that tough, my body was that tough, my spirit was ready for anything. I grew up, I was raised with one parent, and then being a first son, every other burden came upon me, I had to stay there for the family back at home. And so now, while going through what we're going through in Nairobi, still at home, they are looking at me like Henry is a hero, he's our hero. He's so strong, he's going to overcome all this. And by inside my heart, I knew very well, man, without God, I can't make it. But I kept praying and being there all through. And God actually was able to carry me through. Yeah. And by the time we were making the prayer, inside my heart, I had a conviction she wouldn't even live beyond a month. I knew, I could just tell. Because I remember this Saturday I was going for an overnight prayer meeting. And she told me, she really let me go, leave the house happily. But that particular day, she told me, it was at 9 p.m. She told me, Daddy, I want to allow you go. I'll be okay. I'm okay. So I got thinking, how come this time around she's just giving in so easily like that? And many other times you have to fight before leaving. So I knew in my heart, this is it. This is it. So I went, I kept praying and said, Lord, give my wife, make her strong, ready to handle what is coming our way. And I kept praying also for a bigger girl, Peniel. I said, Lord, just have your way in this. And actually, God carried us through. But it wasn't easy at all. I remember even at times I would be driving and I'll just, get to a junction and cross even before waiting for the lights to switch and give a way out. I was losing
That's
it.
how absent-minded
Yeah, I
was.
was, At times it got to a place where I decided to leave the car at home and I would be walking. But through it all, we saw God. Even at times, I would go to the office walking by foot, get there, talk to my bishop, and he would pray for me. After the prayer, I would feel relieved. And leaving his room, I receive a call from a friend. A friend calls and say, hey, kindly, we want you to do this and this for us. How much are you going to charge us? I just got a figure randomly. I pick on a certain amount of money, and they give in to pay. And while paying, we have a need. We have to take the baby to the hospital. They give us that money, we tackle the need ahead of us and keep going.
Okay, before we now get to your third born, the one with Down syndrome, let me now wrap up, concerning your second child with you, Linda. Because now eventually the worst happened, and Henry here says he was praying for you to have strength for what's coming, but now what you are dreading indeed happened.
Yes. When it happened, I asked God a lot of questions. I was so bitter with God. I was so angry. I didn't even know how to face him. But one thing I told him was, why didn't you take me, instead of taking her? Now I started asking myself, did I do something in my past that is now haunting me? Because I think that's something most people, when they lose a child or when the child is sick, they start questioning themselves. They say, did I do something in the past? You have that guilt. Did I do something in the past that is now haunting me in the future, and it's haunting me through my kids? Did I make a mistake, or did I, all those did I. So I questioned God a lot, and I didn't know what to tell him, but I just told him, God, you promised me she would survive, but you've taken her away from me. How do you think I'm going to survive this? Why didn't you just take me and let her live? Why didn't you why let her go through all that pain just to take her in the long run? Why didn't you just take her in the beginning? But God told me I was trying to make you strong for what is ahead of you. I couldn't understand then what was happening, but he told me that you might not know why I'm taking you through this pain, but out of this pain I'm going to create a platform for you. But I told him, but still, God, it hurts to the core. It's really, really painful, and I don't even know how I'm going to get myself out of this. In fact, there's so many moments that I wanted to take my life, but the only thing that kept me was the fact that I was pregnant. I was like, you know what? I can't take my life and the life of the baby that is in me. So you know what? I'm going to hold on to this until the baby is here. But I just didn't know how to pick myself from it. It's a pain that I don't know how to explain. Until you've gone through it, I don't think anyone can. And most of the time, people will just come and tell you, you'll get another one. You will survive this. I mean, it's okay. But at that time, you don't see it. It's a dark place that you're in. Yes. Okay. After she passed on, we buried her. Then we came back home. It was hard to stay in the same house that she was in, because the memories are still haunting you. And but we thank God that Raina taught us to be strong. She was a very strong girl, and that is where we picked strength from. And we thank God that we had her in our lives.
So there's a point you said, God told you he was preparing you for what's coming. And you're also telling us you are pregnant now with your third child, and the baby finally comes.
Yes, the baby finally comes 6 months down the line. We just buried our baby, and blessing is here. We gave birth to her. They called her, she was a blue baby because she didn't cry. She cried later on. And then after that, they didn't tell us then that she had Down syndrome. Actually the nurse that helped us to deliver the baby didn't tell us anything. 3 months down the line is when they told us there's something wrong about the baby. We went to see a doctor. Then the doctor told us she has Down syndrome. Our hearts sunk deeper now, because we've just buried our baby. Here again, we're getting some more bad news. So you're wondering, okay, are we cursed? What is happening? People actually talked about us behind our backs. They'll say we've done something, we've stole something, as in we've done something in our past that is now coming to us, as in they'll talk badly about us. Now we actually now started asking ourselves, is this something that we have done? Because how can we just bury our baby, then get another baby who has Down syndrome? Not only does she have Down syndrome, she has a hole in her heart. So which means that we need more finances to cater for this. And actually that time, me just told God, you know what, I give up. I don't know how I'm going to pick myself from this one. I was already down here. Now you're taking me down again. So this one, me, I'm giving up. You do what you want to do. The worst already happened. I already buried one baby. So if this one even also dies, it is fine. But I don't know how I'm going to pick myself up from this one. I think I can say I was now in depression. Actually, I was in denial about her condition for a very, very, very long time because I just couldn't take it. Yeah.
Wow. It was again another direction in life. And I remember after receiving the news that the baby wasn't well again, that particular day in the evening, we normally pray together in the evening before going to bed. I let them go to bed. I decided to pray alone, to make a prayer, because there was no happiness in the house. We were just there, heartbroken, so low. So I let them go to bed, and I remained in the sitting room, turned my seat against the wall, and I decided to have a personal meeting with God. Said, Lord, I know you're seated here, and I'm here as your son. I made a very brief, strict prayer. I said, Lord, you know the condition in the bedroom as we speak. If you don't come through for me, I will not move even an inch like this, going to people seeking for alms, for help. We had been going through that for 2 years. Again, going back to the same people. For money, it's not easy. I said, Lord, if you don't come through for us, I will not do anything from now. And I said, thank you. And I slept there.
And he actually said, I'm ready to bury her.
I'm ready to bury her the same way we buried the other one. And then I slept on the seat. Come and see, we believe in God. God is a provider. After 2 days, we received a call from my dad-in-law. He said, kindly Henry, SMS me exact names. So I texted. After 2 hours down the line, I was given a call from a guy in town, called me and said, I've been given an envelope for you, kindly come to town and pick it. I went, and on arrival I was given a check of about 700,000. It was moving, touching, you can't even believe, like I made a prayer and someone was touched away to stand by us. And I told God, thank you so much. And then he began calling, how is the baby doing? Kindly, I've paid another doctor in town in Upper Hill, take her there for more tests. So we took the baby there, and on arrival, the plans were underway. Let's have this baby taken to India for heart surgery, for urgent heart surgery that needs to be done like in less than a month. And so we began the process from there. We were sent to Mata Hospital again for another minor surgery that was costing 100,000. My dad-in-law still reached out and paid the cash. He asked, could you be having any money on you, pay for air tickets? We said, we'll get. He said, no, don't say you'll get. So in other words, you don't have the cash. So again, he paid for the air tickets and all that. And the visa, everything went through like in a span of 2 weeks. And the baby was able to be taken to India for heart surgery. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Yeah.
So I had to go with the baby because we couldn't afford for both of us to go. I went to India with the baby. The baby had heart surgery. The good thing about India is that their medical system is quite good, and it's quite affordable. Yes. So they did their own tests, and they confirmed everything. Then we went through the surgery. The day that she came out of surgery, when I saw her in the ICU, I almost fainted. Because she had pipes all over her, she had so many things connected to her. And I was like, are you sure my baby's gonna survive this? They told me, yeah, don't worry about all those pipes. They're just feeding her, others are just returning some nutrients into her body. It's nothing serious. I was like, actually, I cried. And I told God, if you were gonna see my baby through this, I promise you that whatever you bring, whatever you want me to do, I will do it. That's what I told him. That's the prayer I made to him. And I told him, but if you do not bring her out of this, then you better take me with her, because this one, I will not come out of it. Losing another baby, that pain, going through the same process again, I don't think I have that stamina and the strength to do this. And I thank God because he actually came through, because after 2 days, she was now breathing on her own. She didn't have to have all those pipes. Yeah. So she was breathing on her own, and I told God, thank you, because you have actually come through. Even the doctors were surprised that she was breathing on her own within 2 days, because normally they say it takes about 4 or 5 days, and her recovery was quite fast, because after a week and a half or so, we came back home.
Wow.
and she was fine. And but you see, she still has Down syndrome. The heart issue has been sorted, but she still has Down syndrome. So every day that we've seen Blessing growing, it's been a journey. We've seen her progressing from not being able to sit down, not being able to walk, and not being able to do anything. Initially she couldn't smile. She couldn't laugh.
Just before going to India, she was so dull. She couldn't even raise an arm or even move a leg.
She never used to
leave
cry.
her in a seat in a certain position, go to town and back.
Find her in the
same position. Yes.
And she doesn't cry.
She doesn't cry.
She was a
doesn't
very
cry for
calm
food.
baby.
Yeah.
She wouldn't cry. She wouldn't do anything. When she wants to eat, she'll just do. You'll know she's hungry. You feed her. And that's how she was. So when we came back from India, from surgery, actually she could smile. She could lift her hand. As in, we just saw God working daily on her, and we thank God because it's a journey that has helped us to grow too. And what I say is, when we're going through this pain, most of the time we always want to get away from God. We don't want to draw close to God. We are angry and bitter at God, so we just draw away from God. We ask God, if you're a mighty God, why can't you just do something? You know, like we expect him to do magic. Why don't you just do the miracle? Because you're a mighty God. You say you're a healer. Actually, that's what I had a problem with, because when Reina was sick, I would pray the verses of healing. I would pray faith verses from the Bible once in a while, and you know, you hold on to them. Then when she dies, you can't pray those verses again. You're like, it didn't work this time, so why do I expect it to work this time? So those are the things. But God wants you to just come to him, pour out your heart, pour out your anger to him, tell him all you want to tell him, because it is wise to do that than pouring it to someone else. You pour it to a human being, they'll tell you what they think, and they'll even discourage you. Others will even discourage you more, because they don't have the power. It's not in their control. It is in God's control.
That's true.
So that's when now we grew closer to God, because we knew that, you know what, at the end of the day, this life that I have also does not belong to me.
It's his.
It's his also. Look at the story of Job. Job lost everything. As we just lost one child and another one is sick, yes, but Job lost his children. He lost his wealth.
Property,
his wife mocked him. His friends mocked him. But he survived and he held on to God. So I think the Bible has so many things that we can grasp on. It is the living word of God, and because it lives, it does not change with every situation that comes. It does not change. So it is us to take what he says in his word and make it relevant for our life and situation at that time.
How old is she now?
She's now 6 years.
6 years. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And she's okay.
She's okay. She's a very happy baby. Very happy. She hugs everyone she can, as in she does not discriminate anyone. Even if she sees whoever, she will just want to love on them. She's such a loving and happy girl.
Okay, and of course your fourth one, who is okay, right?
Oh, we've not even talked about Peniel. After our baby died, Peniel started asking questions. He's like, where is Reina? Why is Reina not coming home? And we had to be strong for Peniel too, because she didn't know what was happening. She was 3 years or 4 years then.
She was 4 years.
So she didn't know. We just told her, you know what? Reina has gone to be with God.
The Lord, and we'll meet someday.
And we'll meet someday. So you don't worry, she's watching over us. And then when we got Blessing again, and Blessing has another condition again, she still asked questions. But you told her, you know what? Blessing is a special baby, and God is working something through her. And we thank God that she's learning to accept everything that is happening also, even though she's now 11, 12 years. Yeah, so she's now understanding what's happening.
Okay, so I need to get your closing remarks, and I'll start with you, Linda. In those remarks, maybe you could also encourage probably a mother out there who's gone through the same. You know, it's never easy having to bury your own child, and of course, one also with probably a child who has Down syndrome, autism, because they are sort of related. So maybe you could tie that in your closing remarks.
What I can say is when we go through all this pain, turn to God. He's the author and finisher of everything.
Sure.
It's not going to be easy. Cry out, cry it all out. Reach out to someone who can support you, someone who's gone through the same thing and survived. Reach out to them. Let them guide you through what they did. Because most of them, we normally isolate ourselves. Do not isolate yourself. Reach out to others and pray that God helps you, because He's the only one who can do that. No man can do it. And if you have a child that has a special condition, embrace the child. Accept the situation as it is, and we pray that God will work it out for you.
Henry, you have the last word, and as you give us your closing remarks, there's something Linda did mention, that you never left, because many men leave, even when there's no reason to leave. But you, I don't know if it's right to say this, but you probably had a reason to, but you chose to stay. So you could tie that in your remarks.
Thank you so much. Actually, I chose to stay because I want to leave a legacy. Quitters never win, while winners never quit. So you standing there and persist, very much assured that there's a greater end at the end of it. Yes, that's what I chose to do.
What would you tell those? They're called absentee fathers, deadbeat,
the fathers
who
out
actually
there,
left when they didn't have a reason to.
I've always learned to take up responsibility. You don't cause trouble at times and then leave, or not even you not being the cause, but accept life as it comes. You're not the only one that is going through challenges. Challenges are there. Believe you me, you have to normalize everything. Like say, I'm not, this issue or trouble is not designed specifically for me. No, you commonize everything. The Bible says there is nothing new that happens around the earth. Nothing new. So I learned to say, let me commonize everything. As I'm speaking to a man out there, commonize it. You're not the only one going through the same. Other people have gone through the same and conquered, come out the other side as success. So commonize it, accept it, and move on. Yes.
Great.
And
commonize
forgive
it
yourself.
Accept it, move on, and forgive yourself. Really important. Okay, so that's where we end. Thank you so much, Sir Henry Omutai, Linda Omutai. Thank you so much for joining us. A lot of feedback. Won't be able to sample it because of time, but lots of our viewers just encouraging you, saying you have a very inspiring story. One actually here, Michael Kenza, says so, and he wishes you the very best together with your babies. Thank you so much for joining us. So that's where we end today's edition of Weekend Express. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Grace Kuria. Remember, at 11, Ben Kitili will be with you with Inside Politics, and I'll be back at 1 p.m. for Weekend at